In this session, we'll discuss how to start with the SharePoint Online, and also we'll discuss what's a different type of templates are available in SharePoint, and we'll discuss what's the difference between a team site and a communication site, and also we'll create a site collection with the team site as well as communication site. We'll see how to create a subsites under the site collection. So for that, I'm going to the office.com homepage. From here you can click this app launcher. From the app launcher we can able to create, or we can able to work with the SharePoint. When you hit this SharePoint, it will open in a different tab. Here we have the tenant name, which is rishandigi.sharepoint.com, which is common for each and every tenant. When you create any tenant in Office 365, whenever you open a SharePoint, and you will see this URL structure. Now here we have some URL structure like _layout/15/SharePoint.aspx, and this is related to the login information, login user name, which is showing like admin user at rishandigi.unmicrosoft.com. This is, now we don't have any site collection, so that's why it is showing like this. You don't have any recent activity in the SharePoint, so we are not did anything in the SharePoint yet, so that's why it is showing like this. Now here in the top we have two options. One is create site, another one is create news post. We'll discuss about the news post later. We'll discuss about create site. When you hit this create site, it pop-ups a window here in the right side, and which is loading. It will take a couple of seconds. Then we can able to see two options here. One is team site, another one is a communication site. And here directly Microsoft given some statements, some of the differences between these two sites. One is team site. Here the statement is saying that create a private space to collaborate with your team. So which means team site is nothing but a collaboration site, and you can create and you can work with your colleagues, or you can work with your team. So that's why they have given a name as team site. And few of the things they have given in the team site, like track and stay update on the project status. If you are working in any of the project, and you can able to track and you can get the updates of the project status. The next option is share team resources and co-author content. You can able to share the team resources, as well as if your co-author written something, and you can able to see that and you can able to share that as well. Here all site owners and members can able to publish the site content in the team site. And also when you create a team site, it will create a Office 365 group in the backend. I'll show you how it will create the Office 365 group in the backend. And the next one, which is a communication site. Communication site, we can say it as a broadcasting site. So that's why the image which is showing like this, it's like a news reader. You can able to see they are saying something and the people can listen. The same manner here, the statement saying that share information that engages and informs viewers. So which means the broadcast, we know that so we aware of the news channels, and we aware of the radio related stuff also, and if there is something happen, they'll announce and everybody knows about it. So that's why in the communication site you can see few content authors and many site visitors, which means few of the people write the content and other people can visit that content. And also we have other definitions. We can able to create portals or subject specific sites in the communication site, and we can engage dozens or thousands of viewers using any SharePoint group or any of the group, and we can send the information to the users. So these are the major sites are available inside your SharePoint Online. I'll tell you how we can create a different site templates later, but the very first time we have two sites only. Here one is team site, another one is a communication site. Now we'll start working with the team site first, and then we'll try to create a communication site, and later we'll see how we can create a subsites under that. When you hit this team site, and it will redirect to another page. Here we have two options. One is site name, another one is site description. Now here I am just giving a name as called office team. I'm just giving a name as office team. When I enter site name, and few of the columns earlier we don't have, which is appearing here. The first one is group email address, and it just removed the space between this office team, and it is creating a group email address as well. And this group alias is available, which means the name is available. Very next time, if you are trying to create with the same name, it will not allow us to create with the same name because it should be unique. And if you want to edit this one, for example, I'm creating a office team, but I don't want to give a email address as office team, and I want to change that. I can able to change from here, and I'll change this name to simple OFF team. It's mistake, it should be O. I want to keep like this OFFT, and it will verify and check that is available or not. Now the group alias is available, and it is also verifying the site address. This off team address is available or not. For example, I don't want to keep the site address also with the same group name. I want to change little bit, which is like office. I want to keep office team like this, and it will check. If it is available, then it will show up here. If it is not available, and it will throw an error message. It's still verifying. Okay, which is still loading. We'll wait for a couple of seconds, it will check, and meanwhile we'll discuss about the site description. And the site description is optional always. If you want to tell something about the site which you are creating, you can give here. I'm just creating for demo purpose. That's it. And when you're working in the team, for example, if you are creating this team site for office management or maybe employee management or whatever you are creating for it, and you can able to give that site description. And here we have a privacy settings. We have two options. One is public. Anyone in the organization can access this site, which means the people will get a read access only. Later, if you want to give a edit access to them, you can able to give. And the next one is private. The only members can access. So most of the times we'll create a private site, but some point of time you are creating a portal homepage, and that should be on a main site for the entire organization. You can able to give a read access to entire organization, which means the people who are inside your company, they can able to access the site, but that is only with the read access. They won't get read and write access. Here we have an option to select the language, and we have plenty of language support in SharePoint. It supports with the Hindi as well. It supports with Italian, Japanese. Multiple language support is available in SharePoint site. You can select, and in that language the site will create. But if you understand the language, it is easy to maintain, or if you don't understand the language, then it's difficult to understand and difficult to work with that. Still it is verifying. I don't understand why it is verifying much. Definitely it will take a couple of seconds only, not more than that, but sometimes. Okay, no problem. We'll hit next. And if you want to add any members to this site, you can able to add from here, and instead of adding them also, you can able to click finish. I'm creating this site. I'll get an admin rights to this site. I'll be in the owners group, and we'll discuss about how the groups will work in SharePoint environment. So we are done with this. Click finish. Okay, now the team site is created. The team site contains left navigation, and here you can able to see the site name. So the start designing your site will discuss maybe later, and click close. This is a team site. Now when you create a team site, it is created a team in the backend that I'll show you when we are working with the users, where exactly the team site groups will create. Now I'll go back to the Microsoft Office homepage. From here I'll try to open the SharePoint. Okay, when you hit this create site, you can see the two options again. Just before we have created a team site, now we'll create a communication site, and we have seen the look and feel of the team site. Now we'll see how the communication site will look like and what are the options we'll get. Now here I'm just creating a site as broadcasting. I just given a name as, there is a spelling mistake in the broadcasting, and the broadcasting I have given a name, and it is directly taken the site address. There is no other options for the group name, and only the site address is available. If you wish to edit, you can click this change site settings option, or otherwise you can keep the same one. And site description is optional, and this one you can able to select the language from here, and it supports multilingual. Plenty of language support is available. And if you want to read the statement also, you can able to read the communication site statements here. Here communication sites often have few site owners and members that help manage and update the site content, and many site visitors in the communication site. They can able to view the content. Now I'm clicking finish. It will create a communication site for us. We'll see how the communication site looks like. Now this is a communication site. It looks little different than the team site. Team site looks more plain, like we have less web parts here, and we have the quick navigation here. We have top navigation options as well, and we have the office site name and the same options in the top, like we have the SharePoint option here, and we have the site action gear. We'll discuss how this site action gear will work, and the logged in user information is here, and we have some other options also like help, and some other options we'll discuss in the upcoming sessions. And coming to the broadcasting, which means a communication site contains a hero web part here in the top, and we have a news web part, but there is no news yet. There is a event web part, there is a documents web part, and we have a footer, and we have header navigation. In the top navigation we have, but I'll show you how this top navigation will move to a quick navigation. Actually in the communication side, this is not a top navigation. It looks like a top navigation, but it is a quick navigation will comes into the left side. That I'll show you how that would be in the left navigation from the settings end. And if you want to create a subsite, we have created a site collection here using a team site template. We have created a site collection here using a communication site template. Now we'll understand how we can create a subsite, and maybe if it is not available, we'll discuss in the next session how we can enable that one. Now if I go to the new option here, I can only able to see the list, I can only able to see the page, I can able to see the document library and app, but we don't have a subsite option to create from here. Even though if you go to the team site, if I click this one, if I go to site contents, from the site contents we can able to see the content which we created. It might be a list or it might be a document library, that we can able to check from the site contents itself. Here we have document libraries only here. We don't have a list. If you want to create a list or a document library, you can able to create from here. But anyhow, we don't have a subsite option. We'll try to enable the subsite option, and then we'll try to create the subsite. For that, we have to go to the admins option from the office.com. When you go to the admin center, you can able to see all the admin centers here in the Microsoft 365 admin center. There is an admin center name called it as SharePoint. When you hit this SharePoint, it will open another window here, that is a SharePoint admin center. And there is a slight difference when you are trying to open a new SharePoint site. You can able to see rishantdigi.sharepoint.com, but If you want to work with the admin, then you can able to see hyphen admin. That is only the difference between the SharePoint URL and the SharePoint admin center URL. You just need to give your tenant name hyphen admin.sharepoint.com. It will open the SharePoint admin center. Now here we will get the settings option, but if I hit this one, I can able to see this SharePoint default admin center, home site, couple of options are there. Now when I hit this one, I want to see the classic SharePoint admin center page. Now later I'll show you how we can see the settings page of the how we can do the settings in the modern UI, but I'm redirecting to the classic UI to update a option, because here in this site we are not getting the subsite option. I want to enable the subsite option. If you scroll down this, in the bottom you can able to see an option name called subsite creation. Here we have subsite creation option, and which is by default disabled. Disable subsite creation for all sites, and if you want to enable subsite creation for classic sites, you can enable this, and if you want to enable the subsite creation for all the sites, you have to click this and click OK. But it will take couple of seconds to reflect actually, and it will not reflect immediately. Once we click OK, the settings will complete, the page will redirect. After that we have to refresh the site to see that subsite option. Now the settings is completed, and what I'll do is I'll try to refresh this page, and if I hit this new option, still it is not available. Refresh it again. No, still it is not available. We have to wait for a while to reflect the changes. Okay, now I can able to see option name called subsite, even though when you go back to the team site and if you refresh this page, when you hit this new option, you're not able to see now, and I hope this time we can able to see. No. Okay, meanwhile we'll create this subsite from here. When you hit subsite, once we create this one, we'll come back to this and we'll see. Sorry, something went wrong. New subsites are not available for your organization. Create a new site instead. No, I think it should be available, or otherwise definitely this option should be available. Okay, it's not reflected. We got the option, but that's not reflected yet. I'll try to refresh this one. Okay, so when I hit this one, I can able to see subsite option. Okay, now we got it. Here I'm just giving a name as subsite, and description is always optional, and we have created the team site with a URL called site/office/t/ you can give any name here, and we can able to select the language. And here I'm just trying to create a subsite, and I'll give a name as subsite, and then select language is in English, and the template you can able to see the team site with no Microsoft 365 group, because when you create a site collection you'll get a Microsoft 365 group. Otherwise, if you are trying to create a subsite, it will not create any Microsoft 365 group. The next one is team site with the classic experience. We have the project site template also, and when you go to the enterprise templates, you can able to see the document center to maintain the documents. We have the record center to maintain the records, and if you want to create a basic search center for a specific site or a specific site collection, you can able to create a basic search center. And we have VCO process repository to store the VCO diagrams, and this is I think related to external like a SAP related integration, SAP workflow site. And these are the templates are available. Now I want to select a team site with a no Microsoft 365 group, and then these options we'll discuss in the upcoming sessions. Like this is related to the permissions. Now I'm going to use the same permissions as a parent site, which means the users who are in the parent site, they'll get access to this site as well. And coming to the navigation, display the site, this site and the quick launch of the parent, yes I want to, and display this site on the top link bar of the parent site, Yes, I want to display, and this is navigation inheritance. If you want to use the same top link bar of the parent site, you can use this one. So that is about a subsite. When you are creating a subsite, it will ask you to enter the title, description, web URL, and language, and the site template, and the permission related, and the navigation inheritance it will ask. Just click create, it will create a subsite for us. Okay, now the subsite is created. You can see the URL structure until here, which is a site collection, and this one is a subsite, and this is also a team site. And if you want to create a list or a library or a page, or if you want to create a subsite under this one, you can able to create. If you go to the site contents, and this subsite also will have an option to create a subsite, and you can able to create a subsite under this subsite, and later once you create a subsite under this one, and you can able to create a subsite under that as well. So the tree structure will happen. You can create a site collection, you can create subsites, you can create subsites under it, even you can create a subsite under it. And if you want to create here also, just before we are getting an error, now we'll try to check is that error is resolved. When you hit this subsite, I hope it will redirect to a page to create a subsite in this communication set. Here also we don't have any issue. That's it in this session, and we'll discuss the remaining topics in the next session.